got our feet together, feet apart. It's always how we get started. We have our alignments so we know where everything should be. Soften your hips, soften your knees, let your shoulders relax. Arms come up, make a big heart shape. Arms come down in front of the real heart and you push down. So it's kind of like a lollipop shaped or a heart shaped lollipop. And push down. Everything really starts at the top here with the fingers being loose, arms relaxed. Everything works its way down to the ground. Arms up, chin up. Inhale through the nose. Arms down, chin down. Try to exhale through the nose. Everything's through the nose as much as possible. Inhale. Exhale. Try to relax your eyes. Let the eyelids become slightly heavy. Let your vision become slightly blurry. That helps take the tension off the eyes and consequently the optic nerve. Inhale. Tongue goes up. Exhale. Tongue goes down. Inhale. Arch your lower back. Exhale. Round the whole spine. Shift your hips forward so as to put the weight on the ball of your foot. Go flat on your foot at the middle point, and as you get towards the bottom with your hand, shift your weight with your hips back so your weight goes to your heels. Inhale. So that's the whole connection from your fingertips down to your feet and toes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. It usually takes about 3 minutes. A minimum of 3 minutes of deliberate, modulated breathing to where your nervous system starts to respond in a way that it thinks that you're more relaxed than you are having stress on your body. It's the parasympathetic nervous system, if you will. So again, everything relaxed, everything comfortable. I'm trying to feel what areas have tension. Even though I'm stretching, I can feel there's tension maybe in my neck and my shoulders, and I'm trying to let that area dissolve. Inhale. Exhale. So hopefully everybody's following this good. You know, we do this almost every class, pretty much the same exercise. Puts our thoughts into what we're doing with our body, our alignments, trying to control our thoughts and what we're doing. We'll do like maybe 3 more after this. Slower, deeper, more relaxed. Minimum amount of tension we use, mostly in our legs and our lower back a bit to hold our body upright. Other than that, everything's very relaxed. Inhale. And exhale. From here, we go on to the next one. There's this idea that you move your shoulders. You know, throughout the day, we're shrugging, we're kind of hunched over like this. So we want to do it now to feel that. Feel that tension in your neck and shoulders, and then let it go. And then as we sink down, it's like I'm trying to go the opposite direction. I'm trying to stretch my shoulders down so that by the time I come back to here, the shoulders are just kind of in between. No tension, no stretch. Stretch up to the ceiling, and then let your tension, again, dissolve in your neck and shoulders. Your hands do this kind of gathering in, and then hover just about an inch or so above your body, past your navel. Lock your knees and elbows for a moment. So again, I want to feel that tension, so I have something to contrast it with. Here, there's less tension in those arms, neck and shoulders. Gather in, so you're scooping up, all the way to here. Release, let the breath out. So I'm very deliberate in managing my breath, definitely, but the joints. And how the joints are either locked or relaxed and bent. Shrug, reach. I'm going to inhale all the way up to about my nose. And then there's a pause. And then I do the exhale. And then there's a little bit of a pause with my breath. And then I inhale again. Pause for a second or two. By the time I get down to my navel, it's time to exhale again. So being aware of where those pauses are at, again, help you to slow your breathing down tremendously from just, slow down your breathing, breathe deep. This is a very physical, deliberate way of how to do it. Gather in. Squish your stomach, like you're trying to pull your navel towards your backbone as you lock your knees and elbows. Relax. So we're going to do like 2 more of these. Up, down, scoop up. If you can't reach directly above your head, or if you can't lock your elbows, you do what you're able to. Inhale. Exhale. Sometimes for here to go up, it's easier for people to do this. Or if they're above their head and their elbows just too tight, you don't go that far. But ideally, this is what we're trying to get to. Inhale. Exhale. All right. So next thing we're doing is the variation of the 8 pieces of brocade. I had a sheet on it. Everybody took them. I'll bring some more next time. We got a couple more weeks of doing this. So what we do from here is we go apart farther now. Instead of shoulder width, we're about double. Or wherever you feel like you have a bit of stability, because we want to be able to sink our hips as we do this. So here's crossing of my arms, making a bit of a circle. Hands come to my hips. You can see how I pin my shoulders back. And then my hands reach in front. The very last part, they turn. Make the W shape, reach forward, let your shoulders back off and relax, sink into your hips. So we're already kind of down here, so I'm going to scoop up. Like I'm reaching for the ground, then I come up. The hands are, again, the very last thing to turn. Feel the tension on the skin and muscles. Relax your shoulders and elbows. Sink back into your hips. My knees are a consequence of bending my hips. We, again, scoop up. We get to our shoulders. We turn up. We try and press our hands up to the ceiling again. And then there's always the little back off at the end. Back off your shoulders, sink into your hips. To go down, I circle my arms to the sides, back and front, make the triangle shape. Sink your hips as you drop your arms. So we did forward, sides, up and down. What comes next is pivot into a bow stance where my knee is bent, other leg is straight. Here's the scoop up again. Notice how I do this kind of twisting with the wrists and forearms. Last part, the hands turn out as you sink your hips. Now I lean forward. Twist the wrists and forearms again. Try to touch the sides of your body with your arms. And then push down with your heel of your hands as you pull your fingertips up. Chin up. And then we go to the other side. How do we get there? We shift back. We go to the horse stance. We pivot to the left side bow stance. So for this one, I'm trying to keep my shoulders above my hips. Twist the wrists and forearms. Reach the shoulders. At the end, the shoulders back off and your hips sink. The last part of this one, lean forward. Twist the wrists and forearms. With any of these, this part here, it's the scrubbing. I'm trying to make contact. Feel the little bit of heat from the friction. Fingertips up, chin up. Back to the center. We do a cross. This is a double brush knee movement. So I'm kind of pushing down as I'm stretching my chest and shoulders kind of back. All right? So again, this is a way how you can start to develop your breathing. How do you breathe deeper? Well, expanding your lungs, your chest is a way to do it, right? So the next one is going to be, again, to scoop up. Our arms cross in front of our face. Right hand's going to be a fist. Left hand pulls back at the wrist joint as I push. Relax the shoulders. Again, sink the hips. So almost every exercise we finish with sinking the shoulders and relaxing, sinking the hips too, though. Then we do the other side. Fist, stretch, sink. I think this might be as far as we've gone so far. So to finish it up, we get a little closer. We're going to go to the left, spin like a big ball, spin. Here's that ball like with Tai Chi at your nose and your navel, but we go past it, squish. This hand again is kind of doing the brush knee down. Other hand is pressing to the ceiling. Thumb forward, thumb to the side. I try to reach away from my body as much as possible, and then I back off. So I'm stable again. Then I find the ball, nose and navel, squish it. This hand does brush knee, the other hand presses up. I lock the knees and elbows, feel the tension on the muscles, the skin, back off. Then we go to here, hand to the base of your skull, other hand to just above your belt, and you tuck your tailbone. Your tailbone comes forward. Your chin drops slightly so that when you go to gently twist the whole spine, it can turn very comfortably. We go back to the center, same thing, spin the ball, but find your skull, your lower back, relax your shoulders, tuck your tailbone, dip your chin, so that your back is not arched when we do this gentle twist. And you can't go any further, your neck goes further, you can't go any further, your eyes go further. The last exercise we'll do is to here. We again pin the arms back, find your lower back, chin up. As much as you can, get the chin up. And then we go down with the chin. My hands continue down the backside, across the buttocks, the hamstrings, calves. If you can get to your ankles, wonderful. Toes on the front side, and then we come back up. The shins, the knees, the thighs. Arch your back. Relax your back. Lock your knees and elbows. Same thing like we've been doing throughout some of the other sets. So that's the whole thing. Practice is more of a flow. You know, it's the current terminology when you do yoga sets or yoga postures from one to the next. This is Qigong exercises going from one to the next. So it's the 8 pieces of brocade flow, right? So again, back to the beginning. We're gonna do the whole thing at least one more time. We'll see how the time goes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Find your own breathing pattern if you need to with this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And throughout this whole set, there's a whole bunch of different Tai Chi concepts that are all over the place, such as this: shoulders over your waist, hands over your feet, sink the shoulders and hips. Inhale. Exhale. Double brush knee. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. You know what we did? We missed one. It should be here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Twist towards your opposite knee with your shoulders. Exhale. So I'm straight up. And then right shoulder towards my left knee. Inhale. Exhale. So I spin to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Spin to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Twist to the left. Tuck your tailbone, dip your chin. Your spine can only go so far, then your neck goes a little further, and then your eyes go a little further. back to the front. Inhale. Do the exhale as we gently twist. Spine, head, eyes. Then we come a little closer if you need to. Inhale. All the way to here. Exhale. Drop your chin, or stretch your chin up rather. Inhale. Drop your chin. Exhale as you fold in half. Then the hands dangle in front. You can shift your weight from one hip to the other a few times. Feel your neck, your back, your shoulders, hamstrings, whatever's tight, you'll feel it loosen a little bit. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as we push down. All right, we're going to do it one more time through that whole thing. So again, we're about here. If you feel like you're pretty good and you're stable, you can go a little further. But if you go out a little bit further, you want your toes to go out slightly once you get, wider. So then we started out with in front, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. To the sides, scoop up, exhale. If you can, keep your hips where they're at until you get to your shoulders. And then it's the elbows and knees together. Back off. Pushing down. Inhale. Exhale. Come up a little bit. Do the pivot. Bow stance. Inhale. Relax your shoulders. Sink your hips. Exhale. Inhale. Chin up, fingers up, exhale. So this is really the same, like I was saying, the principles here. You got the feet, get the feet in the right spot, get the waist. Last thing is the hands and arms, just like when we practice our Tai Chi sets. Relax and sink. Inhale. Scrub, fingers up, chin up as you exhale. Scoop up, inhale. So this is the idea of the bow. Your left hand has the bow, the right hand is the string. The last part, the hands do their adjustments. We're down here, scoop. Come up as you cross. Push the bow, pull the string. Next one is the circling. Round your spine. Up. Gently twist as you breathe out. Back up, inhale. Down and out, exhale. Straighten up. Get a little closer. Spin the big ball. So this is a divide heaven and earth. That's a concept or a term you'll hear a lot throughout different Tai Chi movements or Qigong forms. Spin the other way. So even though it's brush, knee, and push, it's divide heaven and earth. This one's got some fancy name to it too. It's King draws his sword. Because back in the ancient days, they would have a sword across their back, and they would pull it out of the scabbard. Behind, back to the front. Last one is here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale as you fold. Hopefully you're reaching down further than when we did it the first time. Maybe not. Inhale. And exhale. Relax. How do we do? That's a great little set, I think. It's like all these complicated exercises and, go to the gym and a zillion different machines. It's like one or two exercises can do a whole lot for you if that's where you put your focus. So 8 pieces of brocade. Our next thing is the fundamentals from Tai Chi. We always got to do this to get started. So again, feet together. Now I make a little more attention to doing a half circle. Difference between straight and a half circle, very, very little, but it's my awareness of what I'm doing because I want to do it without looking. I did my little half circle. My feet are shoulder width. I don't want to look at them. They're a little wide, that's fine. Better they're a little wide than too narrow. Shift forward and up, down and back. So we're going this way. For you folks, you're going to your left. Shift the feet to the hips, to the spine, to the shoulders, to the hands. Then we go back to the center. There's that reference I call upon often, nose and navel. Push your feet to the waist, waist to the spine, all the way spine to the hands. We come back to the center position, like we're rolling the ball down our body. So those are 5 directions: north, south, east, west. Center spot's your axis. Inhale. My chest is somewhat open. Exhale. I'm closing my chest by bringing my arms down. Chest is open. Inhale. Somewhat twisted, just pushing the breath out of the lungs. Inhale. Open. Exhale. Closed. Open. Shoulders high. Arms high. Down and out is closed. So we got metal, kind of a piercing motion. Pulling is wood, the tension of a tree branch being pulled. This kinetic linking is your water. Kinetic linking to the right would be fire. It's really just the opposite. And then we got stabilizing, earth. All right, this gives us our opposites. If we got a high, we got to have a low. One hand is high, one's low, they're facing opposite. One is near, one is far. One knee's bent, one is locked. Everything is in opposites. And then the other side. Back to the center, you got an up, you got to have it down. It's like if we had a checklist, you want to go back to some math, you got a checklist, and it's either a 0 or a 1. It's the binary system, right? If we got this, the other one's got to be opposite. Far, near, everything's got to be opposite of the other. All right? So then we go to our 8. So again, shoulder width apart. I do a little shift to make sure my center of gravity feels stable. Shift to the right. This foot does a turn. Here's my cat stance. We got these nice lines in the tile, helps us line up. There's our geometry. If I go from one side of that tile, I go to the other side of the tile, which maybe represents my shoulders. They're about a tile apart. Here's roll back. My shoulders and spine are kind of twisted. When I do the shoulder, elbow, wrist, my spine untwists. Pull back, come to your hips, push, shoulder high. Time to turn, I pivot, turn the feet. Oh, I'm not on the line anymore. So either don't worry about the line or adjust if you need to. Because that again gives me that marker, that reference that I need to get one tile apart. Roll back, bump your shoulder, poke your elbow, press the wrists, pull, push. There's that W shape we just did. Time to turn, I pivot. Again, line up on the line if you feel you need to. Inhale, exhale. This is the same idea, the opening and closing. In, out, in, out. Right about there is a good time to make sure your toes are straight. The next one, the toes turn. Here's our split. Sink your shoulders, sink your hips. So we got names, numbers 1 through 8. You got ward off, roll back. This is a set, shoulder, elbow, wrist. Pull, push, turn is split. So those are very obvious what the mechanical thing is that you're doing. Then we have heaven, because it's an expanding outward. This one is grounding. You're very stable on that back leg. This is the mountain, canyon, water flows to the bottom. Here's that tree branch being pulled back. You snap, you let it go. It's metal, fire. Metal and fire overlap. We got thunder, splitting. So everybody's got it, right? You hear me do it quite often. Every month. Every week. But if I ask you to do it, you probably will have a hard time doing it because you haven't committed to your long-term memory. You plug it in the short-term memory when we're doing this, like, oh, Jim's doing it, there's fire, water. Yeah, I remember that. What is it? I don't remember. This is how it works. So if you're aware of that, it's not like you're going to beat yourself up for not remembering this. Follow along class. If you want to challenge yourself, you know what I'm doing, you start doing it right off the bat. You don't wait for me to tell you, do something with your hand if you know we're eventually. Any questions? comments, complaints, we always wait till afterwards. Right? So our 48 set, we will be doing it, we'll be fine for the first part because it does go back and forth quite a bit. We'll be fine in here. So we got our beginning. Always starts with the opening, which will also be the closing when we get to the end. So we start here now, shift the weight. Cat stance to the side is also called dot. You're dotting, like your foot touched paint and you're gonna put a dot of paint on the ground. Here's the nose and navel with my hands. Draw back into the bow stance. Go a little further back. So now you're in cat stance with your foot in front on the left side. Touch your wrist, kind of exaggerate getting this shoulder to kind of touch the wall here if you were able to, and then poke with the elbow, press with the wrist. So look where my shoulders are at in relation to my hips. It's almost 90 degrees. Then I untwist and come back over to here. Set the foot in front, little C-step gets me to bow stance, sink the weight, this hand comes to the shoulder. Go across on a 45-degree angle. Now it's time for the left hand. This one does a brush knee with the right, in block, reach behind. This hand comes to my ear, left hand now does brush knee, and I push something away in front of me. Time to turn to the side here. So I shift, turn the front knee, foot and hip. Here's cat stance. Nose and navel. Bow stance. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. You'll be seeing a whole lot of that. Shift back like you're holding a teacup. Palm is up, toes are up. Turn. Here's our split. Sink your shoulders, sink your hips. Feet catch up. Always after catch up is usually a cat stance. I do a little in block, I strum the guitar, my hands by my elbow. If you can balance, you go toes down, heel down. Now my toes and hips are straight. This is very Chen. This is from the Chen style, this side to side movement we keep doing here. So my hand comes to my shoulder, I come across, I push with an in block. Then I shift my hips back and I do a chop. That whole time I was doing that rubbing of my sides again. Turn the toes, catch the ball, nose and navel. Here's shoulder, elbow press. We do it three sets of those. Again, toes straight, knees straight. In block, chop, turn the toes. Shoulder, elbow press from bow stance. So your spine should be getting quite a work here, doing this twisting back and forth. Your sides, each time you do that, you're rubbing the gallbladder meridian. That's a good thing. One more of these. Shoulder, elbow, wrist. Okay, we did 3. Time to move on. No, we gotta do one more in block, one more chop. Now we turn our toes. So here's the concept of turning your hip to get a little twisted stance here. So I go from here, my toes, knees, and hips are all going the same direction. This hand comes in front. That's our block parry punch. Feet catch up. You might need to back up a little bit. Here's our 8. We'll do 7 of them this time. Ward off, roll back, bump the shoulder, poke the elbow, press the wrists, pull, push. Yay, something that looks like what we just did, right? Turn to the front. Here's that dot again. My hips are straight, but the weight's mostly on that left leg. Cross your arms. So I'm gonna recenter myself here. From here, I go from this dot, which is a cat stance, to a bow stance. From the bow stance, I go all the way to my right leg with the weight. This hand's in front of my shoulder. I go across to the other shoulder. At the end, those wrists can turn. I make a circle with my arms. I split the circle, and I rotate my wrists out. So then I come back to here. I did that to the side so you can see my arms above my head, my other arms above my leg. So we call that ride the tiger. Shift forward, scoot back, put your foot and hand on the corner. This is gonna turn a little bit. This one catches up. Here's our Bagua stance. Arch your back, tuck your tailbone, dip your chin, round your back. Feet go to cat stance again. You strum the guitar again. This time it's a fist. Same thing, balance, toes, heel. Look over your shoulder. Oh, nobody's right there. I can put my foot there. Here's repulse monkey. We'll do 2 of them. We only got room to do 2 really. So I end up with my left foot and left hand out. So what do we do next from here? This next one is now going to be bow stance. This dot is kind of like my leg is dragging. And then I do brush knee, push the palm. Turn, look at all this fancy little footwork stuff. I keep shifting my weight. There's bow stance, drag the foot, brush knee, push the palms. One more step, feet catch up, strum the guitar, toes, heel. I think that's as far as we've gone here. We're gonna do more. Hold the plate, scrub your forearms. Bow stance. This is moving like your hair is real long and you're kind of like moving the hair out of the way. And then I brush knee. This hand now is going to punch 45 degrees. Up towards the ceiling like a rainbow. Turn. Left hand comes to my waist. This hand continues to go down. Look where my hips are at. If you can do that, it's coming from the hips, not the knees. If you don't like that, we just went from here. You can just go to here. One arm reaches out, the other pulls back. So that's like bow stance. If you can get the twisted stance, then we come all the way down. All right, so let's do this again, not from the very beginning, from maybe about 4 or 5 steps where we were just at. A lot going on. When I do the narration, I'm talking each step, it's like, okay, that's a lot of stuff going on. We gotta get to where I'm just, let's just follow and breathe, right? Yeah, makes you sweat a little bit, right? Hot. So I don't know if the air moves in this room as well. So where were we going to take it from? Say we were just here. We just did strum the guitar on the right side. Usually you don't do the right side. Well, guess what? With this one we do. So after strum the guitar, hold the teacup, move your hair out of the way, brush knee as you punch. Relax. So as I kind of go up, this is spit poison. It's a snake. It's going like that. And then we twist and sink down. This other foot comes forward. Hold up the ceiling. If you can balance, you balance. If we go any further, Colette, you're going out of the room. And then we do spit, the poison on this side. This gets us all the way to where I'm going to bring that foot forward. And now I'm facing the front. And sometimes I do this little set here as a warm-up so you kind of get used to doing it. It's real good for your coordination. A little bit of a shoulder stretch, and then it's swing your leg. All right? So let's just do that last thing so we do know what we're all doing here. So it's the same concept of an in block coming 45 degrees across. When you get to there, it twists. So that stretching of the skin, again, muscles all to your lower back. Then it kind of drops and flicks right above your forehead because you don't want to block your vision. So that's the left arm. 1, 2, 3. This one now circles on the side. This right hand is your target. So if you can't lift up too well, your balance isn't good, you might just bring your foot in front, set it back down. But hey, if you're me, because I've been doing this, then it's catch. I try to make it however high I go, then I catch it. And then I'm going to set it down. So where do we set it down? After we do the kick, we set it down. We step across. Here's bow stance, splash water. Hit the wall. Turn. Here's that circle again. Ride the tiger. Hand over my head, hand over my knee, sink down. I won't tell. Sometimes it's like, which arm is where. And sometimes it just doesn't feel right. It's like, oh, I should have the other arm. And then sometimes it's supposed to be that way, so you're twisting. There's that twisting of the organs again. So it's very relative to the exercise. Any questions on this? Because we're going to do it from the very beginning now. I'm not going to talk as much. Breathing will be the focus this time. Inhale. Not that you're not breathing, but we're trying to slow it down. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This hand stays that way. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your shoulders on every exercise. Even if I don't say it, your shoulders are probably high. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Feet, waist, arms. Inhale. Exhale. Whole bunch of these side to side, in block. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Relax the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. So that was 3. And then 2/3 gets us there. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. I'm just going to adjust a little bit here to back up. Inhale. Fist under elbow. Inhale. Exhale. It's our repulsed monkey. Inhale. Exhale. Feet, waist, turn, but catch the ball first, so then you can do feet, waist, arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Spit. Sink. Inhale. Stand like a statue. Show off. Inhale. Exhale. So, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, so we're not done yet. It's going to turn to the front now. It's going to be in block, chop. Then we do the other side, in block. Circle, circle. Swing your leg, step across, spit, poison it, or throw water at the wall. Ride the tiger. All right. Feet catch up. Hold the ball. So this is shoulder, elbow, wrist, but it's going to be shoulder, elbow, wrist with a fist straight up. Feet come together. Spin the ball like we did earlier. This is divide heaven and earth with a fist. This is brush knee with a fist. Relax and sink down. And then it's going to be, this goes down. We come up kind of like we're doing warrior stance from yoga. Rooster stands on one leg, but this time the hand's above the head. Usually it's over here with 24 step, above the head. And we do the other side. Stand on one leg. And then we start it over again. So now when you go, we finish up today, we have enough time to do a couple more times. You look at the sheet that has 48, and then you're like, oh, we're only like 20 exercises into it, because some of them repeat and some of them have a lot of things going on, and they'll only give it like one line when we just did 5 things with that one line. So it's a little deceptive. Yang 48 is probably close to 60 some exercises, maybe a little bit more. Questions? Are we doing okay? You sneaking out? Alrighty, have a good one. So again, a little slower, a little more relaxed. Just focus on following along, managing your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Back and forth, 3 2/3 times. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. And there's that hand position we've talked about before, a little bit down and in towards your thumb. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. So this is a little bit of I pull my left side so my right arm comes down, like a little spin, if you will. Inhale. Exhale. Look where you're going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So I gotta get my hands in the right spot first, and then drag and brush knee. So again, get the ball where it needs to be. In, out. Feet catch up. Strum the guitar. Inhale. Exhale. Hold the plate. Clear your body. Diagonal punch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So I'm going to stay going this way. Give you the side view. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. So I'm again going to stay going this direction. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Relax your shoulders. In. Out. So I want to go down with my toes straight, and then as I step out, my foot turns. And breathe out. Inhale. Feet are in the right spot, waist is sunk. Divide heaven and earth. It's rooster stands on one leg. Extra credit is stand on one leg. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So like I said, there's more. There's a whole lot more, but that's enough for you know, as far as like, you know, let's do some more movements. So any questions on anything that we're doing here? Sure.
So when you said I'm going to stay facing this way so you can see, that's not the normal way that you would
Yeah.
be in?
The pattern, once we go from here, that next part really is here. So we just get there with that spin. I kind of break it into two parts to get there. And then, you know, all that repulse monkey stuff, that does take us back and forth here. Once we get to that last one of these, the pattern would continue to go this way. And then the pattern would continue to go backwards. It's just, you know, sometimes like, where are the hands at? And with us being kind of condensed from front to back, it's like easier to turn the way it's supposed to be. So in time, maybe another year from now, I'll get the map that has the directions and you can see how it, you know, is supposed to look. I borrowed that from someone, but then I elaborated and made it more fit to what we do with it. So everybody doing okay? Ready to do it one more time? So this should be a fair amount of physical movement for some of us in the room here. Whether you break a sweat or not, that's all relative. You know, how much, you know, I move my arm this much, the next person moves their arm that much, okay, it's, you know, gonna be a little different. So hopefully you decide what you're comfortable with, but the amount of movement that this covers, it's an incredible amount of range of motion. So take a break if you need to, breathe faster if you need to, do what you need to adjust. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In, out. In, out. Always the lower body first. Arms do their thing last. In, out. Except when there's a little exception that I let you know about. In, out. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So this next part, it's really all about momentum. Instead of just doing that, it's going to go to here. And then my hips come around. If that's too much, then you go back to the other way to do it. So let's just do a quick refresh there. The simple way is here. 1, 2, and then you want to kind of get over here. A little more complex would be stepping across. This scoops and the hand again go together. This turns out and everything comes around together as a whole. Arch, round. Inhale, exhale. In, out, in, out. You gotta find a different spot. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. So again, I'm just going to keep going this way. In, out, in, out. So often there'll be a little transition again in there with the in block and chop, and then it continues with the next part. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Relax your shoulders. In, out. So you go down with the right and then turn out. Warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Finish it up. In. Out. Whatever that breath was, we want to try to go slower with the second one. Third one, slowest of the set.